Welcome in to another edition of the Dudley Hilton Show presented by Appalachian Wireless. I'm Andrew Joyce, joined by the coach of the University of Pikeville Bears, Dudley Hilton. We've got a great show lined up for you. Of course, we'll go offensive and defensive into the Bears' den. We'll talk with Jade Haddix from the secondary, also offensive lineman, John Brown, and we'll talk to another one of the coaches. That's defensive line coach Jimmy Brookins, and of course, we'll get a scout on Bethel as well. Take a look at the highlights versus Cumberland U in Saturday's loss. The Bears fell to Cumberland University 41-23. I'm joined now by a three-time Kentucky State champion. He holds over 350 career wins, 3 state championship rings, and we're looking for our first Mid-South Conference ring. He is the coach of our Bears, Dudley Hilton. Coach, welcome in.
Thank you, Andrew.
I know we talked after the game on Saturday, and I know it's tough for you. It's tough as a coach to be able to talk about a game just that quickly following the conclusion of it. Dudley Hilton's a winner. You've proven that in your coaching days in high school, building a program here. Do the losses ever get any easier?
No, they don't get no easier, but sometimes you look how you lost. And, the only game it just really ate me at was the Lindsey Wilson game, just because we didn't play well. The other day, we played about 85% of that game pretty well. And, I just got to get them where the adversity don't tear them up. They just can't. The big play right there before half, just a blown coverage, just a mistake. It should have never happened, and it just got us all down. I think that was a big turning point in the game, because we would have went in with with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement, but instead we go in pointing fingers and fussing and carrying on. So, that's what we got to be able to handle that stuff a little bit better, and we're just not there yet to doing those things. But as far as the effort, I thought the defense played as well as they as ever played, other than about 7 or 8 plays that we just went, just plain dead on, and just, again, but we had 4 main starters that didn't even play in the game Saturday. But make no excuse, we should not let those big plays for us. And offensively, we just had a hard time moving the ball. We had a few big plays, but when you have 1 touchdown scored offensively, we got to call a lot on the defense, and the defense just couldn't hold up.
Defense really beaten up. You talked about starters not in the game Saturday. What's an injury report heading toward Bethel?
Well, right now we still don't have any of them back. Taylor Woods might come back and play some. J.K. still out. We lost Dante Dorsey last week in that game. He was a starter, and
right.
And Debo's still out, and Corey Martin's still out, and outside linebacker Brent is still out. So, we still got several out. But main thing, we found a few last week could help our team, and you'll see some of them on the highlight film that stepped up and helped us some.
I was going to say, last year, because of the lack of depth, if you lost 4 starters, it would have decimated the defense. But you're a little older, not a lot older, not an experienced team by any means, but you did find some guys that stepped in and were able to take their part. They're on the highlights, and you've got some young guys that are hungry to play. This team, you can feel it's starting to develop some depth. Not there yet.
Well, again, Andrew, you've been around a lot longer than I have around here. I don't know if we're really improving or not, but I'd like to think we are. I think we got better quality kids. We still made a few special team penalties the other day. Was on call for, and we just got to outgrow those things. I hope we're getting better. You look at Bethel, and they're a junior and senior ball club. They had a lot of seniors out there. They started out in the preseason ranked about 14, and I think they lost a couple and knocked them out of the thing. But they was a legit good football team. And again, not taking that game was winnable the other day. We should have we had a good chance to win that one as they did, but we just didn't. We was playing with freshmen and sophomores where they was playing with juniors and seniors. So hopefully we can overcome that a little bit more. But Andrew, I just hope we're getting better. I hope we're playing a little bit better brand of football defensively. I really wanted to work on fixing fixing the defense up, and some at times it don't look like nobody coaches over there, but we really do work hard on it. I think. I think the other day they out of 13 third down plays, they made 5 of them. So that's a heck of improvement.
Sure.
And so again, I think our offense was 3 for 13, and the other offense was 5-13. So we got to get better. Our offense is making better on third down plays, just keeping the ball. But I like to think we're getting better. Sometimes I don't know what it shows to people that's been around here. Y'all's a better judge at it than I am. All I know, we're working hard at it, and we're getting better kids in, and we're having about 100 at practice every time we turn around, and I always heard before they was lucky to get 20, 30 at practice. So, we improve at least 70 at every practice every day.
Mid-South Conference, very tough conference. Cumberland U, another ranked opponent, top 25, and they were a good football team. Before we went on the air, we talked about the experience of this team. Cumberland, as I looked at the roster preparing for the game, redshirt junior, redshirt senior, they had so many guys that were 4th and 5th year players. And while we do have a few of those, most of ours are freshmen and sophomore, true freshmen and sophomores, and those are the guys that are getting key playing time. I don't know if you recall, the first statement I made to you when you came off the field, you had talked to your team post-game against Cumberland, but I made a statement to you that I felt like we were the best team out there on Saturday.
I agree with you. I thought we were, and we wasn't last week. Cumberland, Kentucky was a heck of a football team,
sure,
and we took it to it. I thought we was the best team when we played with Lindsey Wilson, but
right,
we lost it. But again, I appreciate you saying that, because I thought we was the best team, and we made some coaching mistakes too. And I told my coaches they made some mistakes, and again, but when you make your living on 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, you really don't know, if they, they're going to do exactly what you're telling them to do. But we got to work on our discipline, a few things a little bit better. But, again, I did think we was as good as teams that were. We just can't let these mistakes tear us up, and they tear us up.
Mid-South Conference, when you are a good team facing another good team, a quality team, an experienced team in Cumberland University, 3, 4, 7 mistakes can make the difference in a win or a loss.
Right. Again, we made some mistakes defensively, and they scored on us. And, again, I don't know if their defense made any mistakes or not, but we should have scored, on their team. And, again, sometimes, you think, well, your defense played, I thought they played on the whole pretty darn good, other than about 7 or 8 plays. Offensively, our special team, we did get a touchdown out of our special team. We ended up having to settle for 3 field goals. And sometimes when you settle for field goals, you better play good defense all day long, because it's hard to just keep settling for field goals. And we, quick end up kicking 3 field goals on the day and having a big day there. But, we just got to get better on everything we do. When you say you're the better team, you can't go out there and have 100 yards and penalties, and that's what we had too. So I think they had 110, but still 100 yards is too much for us, and we just had too many little nagging. I don't think we had that many turnovers as far as that go.
Right.
I don't know how many we produced ourselves. I know of 1 or 2, but it wasn't a whole lot of bad plays. They had some big long runs, and in this game, you can bend, but you can't break. And we broke about 3 times that we shouldn't have broke.
There you go. A few mistakes can make the difference in a win and a loss in the Mid-South Conference. You're tuned to the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless, talking about the Bears' loss to Cumberland University, number 19 ranked Cumberland U, and the final was 41-23. This was a close game at the half. The Bears traded a couple of touchdowns for field goals. That not able to get it done on Saturday, and U-Pike falls to 3-3. Coach, don't feel too badly. You said, there were some mistakes on the field out of your young guys. Coaches made some mistakes. I can tell you, if we come out of a broadcast with 7 or 8 mistakes, we're feeling good about ourselves.
That's for sure.
We don't have to count wins or losses. We're still perfect on the season.
That's for sure, and I hope we don't make that many.
There you go. Dudley Hilton, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at highlights still to come. We'll talk to another member of the coaching staff. We'll go offensive and defense with another one of the Bear players tonight. And, of course, we'll get a scout on Bethel coming up on Saturday as well. You're tuned to the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. Welcome back to the Dudley Hilton Show. It's presented by Appalachian Wireless. Andrew Joyce, along with the coach of the University of Pikeville Bears, Dudley Hilton, as we take a look at the highlights and wrap up the 41-23 loss to Cumberland University last Saturday. And Coach, there are highlights that we talked about, a few mistakes, and this is a different game. You did feel a momentum swing about 15 seconds before the half, and then coming out in the third quarter, Cumberland U, they were able to score, and it seemed to take the wind out of not just the players but the crowd as well.
But again, Andrew, I think it was a good close game to about 6 minutes to go. I mean, we done some things right there on the end trying to win. It cost us a touchdown, and basically we were in the ball game up to then. But you couldn't punt with 3 minutes down and down by 8, so we had to go for it. So we give them an easy touchdown on the end. But basically, I think again we fought back, but we'd rather be on top and do it like that instead of, trying to depend on somebody else.
Absolutely. This University of Pikeville Bear team growing up. We'll see some highlights, some guys playing for injured Bears, of course, against Cumberland U. Let's go to the highlights now in Saturday's homecoming game with Cumberland University. Get things started defensively.
Yeah,
Trey Bartlett.
Yeah, Trey comes up, makes a big play right there. A lot more gang tackling now than you see early in the year, so that's good. We're all trying to get to the ball and doing a good job like that. And
talk about one of your special teams guys, 3 field goals. He's still perfect on extra points. Grayson Quick, and he's a punter too.
You see where he's putting this ball here, and we almost got that thing right there. You're talking about the 7-yard line, so that's about a 48-yard punt, I think.
He placed it, got Cumberland backed up inside the 10. Tremendous job.
Here's one of the replacers right here. Crutcher makes a big stick right there and calls a fumble. And I think the boy you had on the show last week, Ross, got that fumble recovered for us.
Chris Ross covered it up, and I'm not sure. I thought we were going to have to spray water on Ross and 71 from Cumberland U. They got locked up there.
Yeah.
And this is a long highlight because Cumberland U 71, I can't recall his name, big kid.
Yeah.
But
I thought
he didn't want to let go.
I was scared to death somebody's going to throw their temper out there right there, cause us a big fumble. But the referee had already signaled.
They're talking to him, trying to get him to get up.
It took them a while to get out there. Basically, we let those two. I don't know how long time limit there, but anyway.
Ross comes out there with it. He wasn't letting go.
And here's our main man right here, old Trevor. He has Shantez make a heck of a catch right there and gives a big first step down there.
Well, and he has to go low to get that. He's got such great hands.
And here's, again, boy, you ain't heard much this year. Makes a big catch for us. That might be his first catch of the year right there. Kyle Wells, I know down in Campbellsville last year, he made a big catch for us to help us win that game.
Knows how to play the game. Comes out of a great program. Big, strong kid. Took forward to bring him down.
Yeah. Here's the, rushing touchdown that Hunter Adams got. Again, old Hunter, you can tell where his shoulder's at.
It's his shoulders turning. He got a couple key blocks. Brown up front, and then downfield also. I believe it was Johnson who got the key to see your wideouts getting the blocks downfield.
And here goes Trevor again, going back out there. There's your Wells boy again, and made another great catch for us.
That he did. Big, strong kid.
And like I said, we're lucky we got a heck of a kicker here at University of Pikeville. There's a field goal and good protection up front. And right down the middle, and I think that's about 41 yards.
41 yards. I had no doubt about it because when we had Grayson Quick on the show, he said he's good for 60. So 41, that's a chip shot for him.
Here's your little man. We finally put him back there on this kickoff return. And I tell you, Amos makes a good fake right there. You see a good block right there and another good block there. And
then he just makes people miss. He's not a strong kid. He's not going to run over anybody. He's not going to outrun a lot. But he just makes people miss.
That's what's got to hell up there.
Playmaker.
And here again, another field goal, good protection. This is not a rerun, Andrew. It's another field goal.
That's right. 34 yards from Grayson Quick.
And
here's a fake punt, Jared Harris.
Yeah, Jared Harris. That's something we just call that a straight blast play. We needed about 3 yards, and we just let him run straight up the middle. And of course, he's coach's backup quarterback, and he just does a great job.
Not the first time he's done that this year.
Here's another good pressure. It's number 38. That's Tanner Gilbert from Clay County. And And we had to move him up the defensive line because we had so many people hurt.
Sure.
He come in there and played well for us, and we're just proud of him. We're going to keep him there because we still got a lot of people hurt.
He was solid. He was solid
Sure
on
was.
Saturday, indeed. I think we may get a look at Zeke White here.
Yeah, there you go, old Zeke.
Big run. He bounces off here. Tough to bring down.
Again, Zeke, he's a dandy, brother. I tell you, you had him on the show. He wants to take your place.
He
tonight,
does.
don't
He does. Keeps running like that.
Yeah, like I said, this is still not a rerun. It's another field goal. It's 3 in one day. I don't know what the record there, but that's 3 pretty long field goals.
Grayson Quick, solid. Great part of this team.
You keep giving him, keep putting this ball in this little man's hand, he's going to make things happen. I'll tell you that. There he goes again.
Jordan Amos goes about 95 yards, I believe, with this one. He'll take it all the way to the house. And again, just makes people miss, changes speeds, and now he does outrun. A little hesitation move there. Got a guy that was probably quicker than him to hesitate and then takes it to the house.
He looks like you when you was young, Andrew. That's right.
Not sure about that.
And here's our last, I think our last one. Sam Mobley makes a good defense, gets in there, and falls on a fumble. I don't know if he scared him to death and made him fumble or what, but bottom line, we got the fumble. Like I said, we had a lot of bright spots, had a lot of great things going on down there Saturday in our game, Andrew. And again, it was homecoming. You didn't want to lose, our kids didn't want to lose, but some things we just didn't do on offensively, special team, and defensively. We just made some human mistakes, and like I said, it's a growing pain for us, and we just got to keep working on it and keep improving, and just don't get our head down. And as long as they're playing hard, again, I go back to 4 or 5 weeks ago when we didn't play hard. We're playing hard right now, Andrew. We're just playing good football teams, and we're a good football team, and some breaks going to start going our way once we just keep confidence, keep faith, and keep playing hard. Good things going to come to people that works hard, and I think good things going to come to University of Pikeville football team if we just keep working hard.
They are working hard, and on Saturday I thought they were the best team on the field watching the game. Minimize mistakes, and it's a different outcome. 41-23, Cumberland University gets the win, and the Bears fall to 3-3. Back in Mid-South Conference action this Saturday at Bethel. We'll talk about that game in just a little bit. First, we'll talk to another member of the coaching staff, and that's Jimmy Brookings. He's the Director of Player Development and the linebackers coach at the University of Pikeville. Offensively, Big John Brown. Defensively, Jade Haddix. They're still to come on the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless.
The University of Pikeville has developed a Master of Business Administration with you in mind. Whether you want to embark on a new career path, learn to do your job better, or increase your earning potential, the MBA program at the University of Pikeville is ready to help you advance. Designed for the working professional, you don't have to put your life on hold to come back to school. It's your time, your university. UPike MBA.
Welcome back in. The Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. I'm Andrew Joyce. As we wrap up Cumberland University, a 41-23 win over the Bears last Saturday. This week, the opponent, Bethel, as the Bears go on the road with their westernmost road trip of the season. Joined now by another member of the coaching staff. Talk with Coach Hilton, and of course, from week to week, and we get used to each other. We get to talk a lot. I know Dudley from way back, from his days on Log Mountain. But I get to meet the coaches because you guys are typically busy when I'm looking for the coach, looking for comments, maybe get to talk to a player, but I don't get to talk to you guys very much. So a chance for me to meet part of the coaching staff, and that's Jimmy Brookings, linebackers coach and director of player development. Welcome to the Dudley Hilton Show.
Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Let's talk about Jimmy Brookings first, how you got here. And before then even, let's talk about your background, your playing days, your coaching days.
Well, I grew up in North Florida. We know a little bit about football down there. I was fortunate enough to play for a state championship team down in Monticello, Jefferson County High School. From there, I signed a scholarship at Valdosta State, where I was blessed to have some success there at linebacker, 2 times all-conference, 2-time All-American, and 2-time MVP.
Tradition-rich program.
Very, very, very. I was happy to say that I was part of some of the early growing pains there.
Sure.
I was part of the first winning team that we had there, in the 92 team that got robbed of a playoff bid. But it was a pleasure playing ball there, and And from there, I spent some time in the service and matriculated to North Carolina and got into coaching there.
There you go. Where did your coaching career begin?
Well, my coaching career began at Olympic High School. I coached about 5 years there. Actually, I started with Pop Warner. And from there, I went on to Olympic High School. I coached 5 years there. Coached at West Mecklenburg High School as well, and also spent a year at Southern Tech, which is a preparatory school, which was my first chance to coach postgraduates. And that kind of made me get the ant bed, if you will, to want to coach some college football.
There you go. Coach Jimmy Brookins, you arrive in Pikeville, Kentucky. How did you get from North Florida to Valdosta State, North Carolina, and then arrive in Pikeville?
Well, originally I accepted a position as defensive coordinator with the Drillers. From there, I met Coach Holland and some of the rest of the staff, and they told me that maybe there would be a position here at Pikeville, so I came out. I met the legend himself, Coach Dudley, and he gave me an opportunity to come out. And I tell you what, it's been a blessing. I'm glad to be here, and I'm just excited about coaching a great group of young men and working for such an outstanding institution here at University of Pikeville.
Growing program.
Growing program, growing community, and I feel that I'm in the right place at the right time. And I feel like great things are going to happen here.
Yeah. Right now, still a young team. We talk about this team and some of the highlights that we look at. These are freshmen and sophomore that are making the highlight reel. This team is scary good if they continue to work a year down the road. I truly believe this team can be scary good next year. 2 years down the road, it's Mid-South Conference good. Jimmy Brookins, talk about your linebacking core. That's your focus, coaching the linebackers. Talk about your group of linebackers and their youth, what they can do individually and as a group.
Well, consistency is a thing. We've got a great group of kids. They're attentive, they work, they go to class, they do all of those things correctly. What we've got to get them doing is being focused on what is going to take, being in the right position at the right time to make plays. And that falls on coaching, and Coach Hilton does a real good job of making sure that we are doing a better job of putting them in the position where they could be successful. And I think once that comes together, we do a better job of putting this talent in a position where they can make plays. Then we're going to start to reap the harvest of our labor. We're going to see these guys begin to make easy plays, because right now we played some great teams. But we were not beat up Saturday. More or less, we beat ourselves by not being in a position. And that's going to fall on us to use that great talent, like young John Dudley Hilton, who goes and plays hard, and Roy Spain, who goes out there and gives us all, and then young freshmen like Matt Robinson and Crutcher and all those guys. These guys play hard. So it's up to us to make sure that we do a good job of putting them in a position where they can be successful.
And these are still young guys.
Exactly.
But these are guys that know how to play the game.
Exactly.
John Dudley Hilton, coach's kid, typically they know what football is all about.
Smart.
They have a nose for the ball. They have football smarts. Matt Robinson, he's got it too. We knew that in high school. Rory Spain, Octavian Crutcher, we've seen those guys on the highlights. You've got some talented kids. Still kids.
Exactly.
Got to grow up. A year down the road, this bunch is truly scary, and we've seen a progression out of the linebacking core already.
Yeah, and I think, as we said, as they have to grow up, we have to grow as a coaching staff as well. So some new faces, and we've got to learn to work together as a coaching staff so that we can get the best out of what we can do as coaches, and put them in the right positions, and just doing a better job of coaching.
How challenging is it to coach kids that know how to play the game?
Well, actually, I think it's not a challenge, but it makes me a better coach. It's actually easier. So now we're learning from each other. As I see them, they make what I call intelligent mistakes. They ask intelligent questions. So it makes it easier for me to correct. And to be honest with you, it's easier for me to coach these guys because they want to do well. They want to correct, to be in the right position. So they ask the right questions, and if it makes any sense, they make the right mistakes.
Defensive unit a little banged up right now. Linebacking core not as much as some of the other spots, but it's a banged up bunch. How much depth do you have in linebacking group?
Well, you know what? We're pretty good there. We're pretty good there. We got some guys that can play different positions. We have Octavian Crutcher who can play both the Mike as well as the Sam. We have Roy Spain that can play the Will as well as the Sam and the Mike. And we have Matt Robinson, another player that can play both the Sam, the Mike, and the Will. So that gives us extra depth there, as well as we have some other younger guys like Nick Lace that can also play.
Wanted to talk about those guys because the players that we've mentioned, yeah, they're interchangeable in a lot of different spots. Who are some young guys in the linebacking group that maybe we haven't been introduced to yet that you expect big things out of?
Well, we have Nick Lacey who does just an outstanding job as a backup and on special teams. We have Austin Baldwin, another young guy that does a great job on special teams.
Called his name a couple of times last week.
Exactly. And these are guys that when given the opportunity, they may not be as athletically gifted as some of the other guys, but they're going to be in the right place, they're going to do the right thing, and they're going to hustle, they're not going to hurt you.
If you're talking to a young player, Pop Warner player, middle school player, high school player who wants to play at this level, and they want to play linebacker at this level, what advice would you give them?
Be a student of the game, okay? Know what everyone does, offensively, defensively, and work hard. You want to be strong, you want to be fast, and what makes a good linebacker or instinct? Learn to trust what you see. Learn to react to what you see. And that from
some of it can't be taught.
Some of it can't be taught. A lot of it is instinctive.
Nose for the ball.
Exactly.
That's what we see in the broadcast booth. Talking with Jimmy Brookins, the linebackers coach and director of player development at the University of Pikeville. The Bears 3-3. Coach, let's change gears now.
Okay.
Let's talk about your role as director of player development. Well, number one, what does that mean? What are some of the job duties?
Well, we want to see a guy not only be a young man, a student athlete, not only be a great athlete on the field. We want him to be molded as a well-rounded student and citizen. That means we want to make sure they're going to class. We want to make sure they're going to study hall, making good grades. Not only that, we want to know what you want to do after you leave the University of Pikeville. We want young men that's going to represent this university now as well as in the future. So what we want to do is sit down and talk to these young men, know what their problems are, know what their assets are, know what their what opportunity areas that they have. And if there's anything going on that we need to know about, we want to make sure that they have help with it. As well as we want to make sure that they get out in the community. Make sure that they're working to help the community. We want to make sure that we get involved with community projects, community development, so that people know that the University of Pikeville are producing young men that are going to be great citizens, both here in Kentucky and all across the country.
Seems like a great group of kids.
Great group of kids.
The ones I've been around and been able to interact with on a personal basis, super group of kids, and they're absolutely doing that. And it's a program that we can be proud of, the players, the coaches, and the program as a whole. Director of Player Development, you mentioned student comes first, student athlete. We talk about that every time we talk with a player. Student athlete, the student part comes first. Study halls, they're available. What else, what other type of academic helps are available for the Bears players?
Well, we want to make sure that if we have someone that has a special interest outside of study hall, we want to make sure that we have, University of Pikeville has what's called a retention program, where we can partner with the administration to get these young men whatever they may need, an internship if need be.
Tutors.
Additional tutors, exactly. And if they want an opportunity, like for instance, if we have someone that may be interested in broadcasting, well, we will partner with someone such as yourself.
I'm looking for help this Friday night.
There you are. And this has been a real great tool because we've been able to get some young men that really were really struggling and had needed some extra help. And this has given them an opportunity to feel more confident. I go back, how are things going now? They're going great. You see them, their heads down or whatever, you don't know what's going on. But these young men have many challenges. It's difficult being a student athlete.
College is tough.
It is.
For a student.
Exactly.
You add the athlete part and you add hours and hours and hours of time in the weight room, time on the practice field, travel time, and it makes the job of being a student that much more difficult. It is challenging, and it is a lot like a job. I think the tutoring program, the study hall, and someone there to help in their development in becoming completely rounded is a tremendous part of this program. Coach, thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Best of luck the rest of the way. Keep the linebackers healthy, and let's get a win Saturday.
Will do.
Jimmy Brookins, the linebackers coach, director of player development at the University of Pikeville. We continue. We'll go to the Bears Den next, and we'll go offensive. Let's talk with one of the big guys up in the trenches, John Brown, an offensive lineman with the Bears, when we return on the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. Welcome back in to the Dudley Hilton Show by Appalachian Wireless. We're talking University of Pikeville Bears football. UPike now 3-3 on the season and back in Mid-South Conference action on the road Saturday to Bethel with that 3-3 record, coming off a 41-23 loss to 19th ranked Cumberland University out of Tennessee. And one of my favorite parts of the Dudley Hilton Show, I like talking to the coach, except when he loses because he gets hateful and he doesn't really want to spend time talking with me. I like talking to the assistant coaches, but I like getting down to the youth of the program. These guys are what keep you young, and we step into the Bears Den now and talk to an offensive player, one of those offensive guys that doesn't get all the publicity. He doesn't get his name mentioned. He's one of those hogs down in the offensive line, in the trenches, and they're the ones that create the holes and make it easy for Trevor Hoskins and Jordan Amos and Hunter Adams and guys like that to get the yardage that they do. John Brown, a 6'1", 311-pound junior out of Georgia. Welcome to the Dudley Hilton Show.
Thank you.
John Brown, you heard us talking with your linebackers coach
Right.
and player development, Jimmy Brookins, talking about student-athlete. Student comes first.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about John Brown and your academic major and what you want to do when you finish at the University of Pikeville.
Well, I'm a criminal justice major. I want to be a federal parole officer. I like helping people. You know, nice guy, big but nice guy.
So
Not
big
just-
teddy bear.
Well, you can call me that. but yeah, I just want to help the community the best way I can
Right.
and help everyone I can.
Criminal justice major.
Right.
What's that curriculum like?
I mean, I like it. You know, it adjusts well with my practice because, you know, we're on a full-time schedule.
Sure.
We're practicing and weights and all of the above, you know, and it fits me. What I want to do. When I first came into University of Pikeville, I didn't have a major. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Right.
I was thinking business, but then I decided to just go with criminal justice.
Mm-hmm. Solid program. Let's talk about John Brown, your football background. When did you first put the pads on?
I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
9
So a
years
young
old.
guy.
Young.
And you've always been, have you always been a big kid?
Yes, sir. I have.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I have.
Have you ever got a chance to play one of the skill positions, John?
In 8th grade, I played D-line, O-line, and I ran fullback.
All right.
It-
So you've gotten to touch it. What was that like compared to hanging out in the tackles and the guards?
I loved it. Anytime we got inside the 20 or the 15, I was getting the ball,
Yeah.
and I scored every time. I enjoyed it.
There you go. So you know what it's like, but you also know how to appreciate offensive linemen.
Right.
Because running out of the fullback spot, you know how
Right.
tough it is for those
Right.
guys up front. Let's talk about your offensive line unit, because it truly is a unit.
Right.
One guy doesn't do his job, and the whole unit suffers. Running back, quarterback, they'll suffer if one guy doesn't get his assignment. How does your offensive line unit, how do you work together? What's the attitude like amongst your group?
First of all, I'm surrounded by a bunch of guys, you know, that's fun to be around. Everybody's close, ready to work. We know what to expect, you know, from the coach, and he know what to expect from us, you know. He pushes us every day. We want to make each other better and just continue to get better.
Do you guys hang together off the field?
Right. Go out to eat the Applebee's a lot of nights on Saturdays, you know, do things during the week. If we have free time, you know, we might hang out, play games. We don't have no studying to do. I mean, just a fun group of guys to be around.
There you go.
I couldn't have been with a better group besides the guys I'm with.
not just a team, but you guys truly, you become family after you hang
Right,
together and
right.
you're on the road together. A lot of bonding goes on in a football locker room. And
Right.
I don't think a lot of folks understand that. John Brown, let's talk about how you arrived in Pikeville, Kentucky at the University of Pikeville. I guess when you arrived, it was Pikeville College then.
Pikeville College, yes, sir.
Talk about your high school days and how you got here.
Okay, it was my senior year was at Appalachian High School back home in Georgia, 2009 to 2010. My high school, we ended the season. Our first loss was in the third round of the playoffs.
Right.
We were 12-1 that year, 12-1. And I had 3 coaches come down from Pikeville College, talk to me, ask me if I want to come here, I haven't really never been in the mountains before,
Right.
Never heard of Pikeville.
Sure.
But I knew about the big cities like Lexington, Louisville,
Right.
knew about those. And I just went from there and just stayed in touch with them all through my to the spring semester of my senior year. I had a state weightlifting championship ring. I received 2 of those in high school, but I traded both of those for a high school state championship ring though.
Understand that.
Yeah.
When you made your first trip to Pikeville, Kentucky, what did you think about the town, the campus, and the area?
The ride, I was like 6 hours. The ride, in the mountains, like I said, never really been to this part of Kentucky before. But I got used to it, though. Now the ride is just like I close my eyes and I'm at home.
Right.
It's not bad at all. But yeah, I quickly adjusted to the city of Pikeville.
You come from Georgia and, of course, a newcomer to town. How does the community receive U-Pike players? Does the community embrace you guys?
Oh, yes, sir. The kids, the youth kids, they really look up to us.
Sure.
We might lose on that field, but in their eyes, we're a winner.
Yeah. And we're looking for this team to be a winner. Don't know if you heard comments to Coach Hilton or Coach Brookins, but this team's just a year away from being scary
Right.
good. Truly feel like it is really starting to grow up. One last question. After a loss, you've now had back-to-back losses. Very good Cumberland's team in Williamsburg. They're
Right.
solid.
Right.
Cumberland, I felt like the Bears were the best team. Just some mistakes, you minimize those, and it's a different game. What's the attitude like in the locker room after these 2 losses?
That 2 weeks ago when we played the University of Pikeville, that hurt. But this past Saturday, that loss, it hurted too, but we were the better team, like you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We knew we were the better team. We could compete with them, And then it hurted, but we got through it, But I just hate losing to a team, that
Sure.
we know we were better than.
How about Bethel this week?
I watched a little film on them. They look pretty good. Defensive ends, they're pretty quick, solid defensive ends. Nose guard, they look pretty good too. But same thing coming this upcoming week. We shouldn't have no problem with these guys. They look like a hard-working team, but I truly believe we work harder.
John Brown, he was in the highlights tonight. Big block from John Brown, freeing Hunter Adams for a big run. He's one of the offensive linemen, one of the big guys. When you need some yardage, you're going to follow this guy. 6'1", 311 pounds. Where did you get that 1 pound? It's not 310, 311.
That's what it was on the scale.
Yeah, sure it was. 6'1", 311 junior. Good guy. Just a big old teddy bear, but he can create some holes. John Brown, one of the offensive linemen with the Bears. When we come back, we'll go defensive. Jade Haddix on the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless.
The biggest thing about U-Pike, you have that one-on-one with your teachers. You know everybody in your class. You have teachers who will work with you. If you need help, they'll stay after. It's a real good feeling. It's a family atmosphere. Everybody here is super nice. Will do anything in the world to help you. And it's just that homey feeling. You don't feel away, especially as a freshman. That's huge. I'm Jennifer. Join me at the University of Pikeville.
Welcome back into the Dudley Hilton Show. It's presented by Appalachian Wireless, and we're talking University of Pikeville Bears football. U-Pike now 3-3 on the season, and back in Mid-South Conference action Saturday at Bethel as the Bears will travel to West Tennessee to take on Bethel. We step back into the Bears den and now talk with another one of the Bears players. One of my favorite parts because I get to meet the young guys. They keep me young, and as I've said on previous shows, I get a chance to see you guys in helmets, face mask, but to be able to put a face and realize you guys are just college students. It's a favorite part of the show for me because our viewers, our listeners, they get to learn who you guys truly are. Not just a player that they can look to and say, wow, how did he miss that tackle? But realize that you are just college students. Jade Haddock, 6'1", 180-pound junior out of Breathitt County, joins us now. Welcome to the Dudley Hilton Show.
Glad to be on it.
Jade Haddock's, of course, a product of Breathitt County, and Breathitt County, a tradition-rich football program in the mountains. We'll talk about that. But first, let's talk about the student athlete. Student comes first. What's your academic major? What are your future plans?
My major is biology, so I have a bunch of really tough courses. And I'd really like to pursue pharmacy school,
right.
Maybe right here in the mountains, Grundy, right across in Virginia.
Right.
Go to Grundy Pharmacy School.
Smart guy.
I guess you could say that.
Biology is a tough curriculum. It absolutely is, but it certainly does prepare you for a field in the healthcare field. Jade Haddock's smart guy. A lot of times they say football players aren't the smartest guys. They've taken too many shots to the head. We're going to find out. Let's talk about your football background. When did you first put on the pads?
I think it was 4th or 5th grade. I played for my elementary school, and that's when it started.
Like most, the first time that you could put on pads and play, you did?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I would imagine in Jackson and Breathitt County, I would imagine that it was the thing to do. Everybody did.
Yeah, you had to play football. If you came from Breathitt County, you just had to.
Yeah, football, Friday nights in Jackson, it is the place to be, and that's where everybody is. Breathitt County, a tradition-rich program. You're playing for a legend now, Dudley Hilton. Over 350 career wins. He retired from high school coaching as the winningest coach in Kentucky high school history. You played for a legend at Breathitt County as well, Mike Holcomb. What are some of the comparisons between the two?
I think they really just, they know how to win. They know how to coach the coaches, coach the players, and just have that winning mentality about them. And, that's what it comes down to, is winning.
Absolutely. And they say that winning is contagious, and so is losing. You've lost 2 straight. What's the attitude like now in the Bears locker room?
I think it's really just, we have to finish the games. For example, you can take 2 or 3 big plays out from Lindsey Wilson from Cumberland University, and we win that game, and we're 5-1. But, we just have to overcome adversity, not give up the big plays, and just finish the game and, just win.
Something that I ask of John Brown from the offensive side, and it's something I saw, and I made this comment to Coach Hilton immediately following the game. I felt like the Bears were the best team Saturday against Cumberland U. Did you guys feel that?
Yes, I think, my personal opinion, I think we was the better team. I think that's a lot of people's opinions. But, we just gave up that big play before half, made a couple mistakes, couple misalignments, that'll cost you the game.
How close is this team to being really good?
We're right on the verge of being a breakout team. There's the Georgetowns and the University of the Cumberlands. Everyone else is down the pack, and everyone's just trying to get up to their level. And I think we have the facilities, we have the coaches, we have the players. We just got to put it all together.
Let's talk about the facilities, the new Hoops Athletic Facility. What does that mean to a football player at the University of Pikeville?
I mean, it's great to walk in, have a big, nice locker room, have your own indoor football facility. Has a field in there, has a brand new weight room. It's just a good vibe, and you want to go in there and work hard. With nice stuff. It's really nice to have.
If you were talking to a high school player who was considering the University of Pikeville, would you encourage them to come here?
Yes, they have the coaches care about the players here. That's a really big thing, and we have all the ingredients we have all the stuff to be a really big program and a winning program. We just have to win.
Breathitt County's got some of those winners. Breathitt County this year, let's talk about your high school team. Have you had a chance to see them play this year?
I haven't had a chance. I might get to watch them next week when I go home. But, they're doing really good this year. They're undefeated.
Ranked number 2 in the state.
Yeah, I think they can bring it home.
Some of the other mountain guys, I know there's some Belfry guys around as well. Been quite a rivalry. Yeah. And I could see you immediately, you shook your head when I simply said Belfry. That is truly a rivalry, isn't it?
Yes, that's a story for a different day, I guess.
It's a fierce rivalry.
Yeah, I think Breathitt County will have a cakewalk until they face Belfry, 3rd or 4th round in the playoffs, and hopefully we can beat them.
There you go. I can see it. I can
Yeah.
see it. That's right. I remember some of my high school rivalries, and it takes a while for those to wear off. Jade Haddock, 6'1", 180-pound junior out of Breathitt County, key member of the secondary. Let's talk about your defensive backs, your corners, your safeties. You guys, as a unit, this group may have more experience than some of the other positions on the field. You being a junior, because a lot of the other positions, they're led by freshmen and sophomore.
Right.
And then you've got Dante's back there, and you've got some other guys. Talk about your group as a unit.
See, we have two veteran safeties, me and Rodney, and we have Trey Bartlett stepped in and got a good rep. So at corner, we have Dimitri Travis, and then the new guys, we have J.K. Hall. He's a redshirt freshman from Johnson Central. He's come, but he's been banged up a little. We have JoJo Walden. He's doing very good. And, we have a bunch of young guys back there with a mix of veterans, and, that's a good mix to have.
You and Dante's the leaders out there, the more experienced of the group, and you guys have played well this year as a defensive back unit.
Sir, but we just got to quit giving up the big plays and, come up, make tackles, get a line right, and we should be all right.
Let's eliminate the mistakes. Let's get a win against Bethel Saturday.
Sounds good.
Jade Haddock, 6'1", 180-pound junior out of Breathitt County. As we leave the Bears Den, when we come back, we'll talk with Dudley Hilton. We'll talk about the Bears' travel, and we'll get a scout on Bethel coming up Saturday. It's a 2:30 Eastern Time kickoff. We'll be on the air at 2:10 on Z-Rock 107.5 and PikeTV.com. You're tuned to the Dudley Hilton Show, talking U-Pike football, presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Hi, I'm Elisha Justice, a transfer student here at the University of Pikeville. I will be a junior next year, and I'm majoring in business administration. I grew up right in Dorton, went to high school at Shelby Valley, and I'm a really big family person. Looking forward to be back home and, be around all my family and all my friends, and to play basketball here at the University of Pikeville. I'm Elisha Justice. Join me at the University of Pikeville.
Welcome back into the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless, where we talk University of Pikeville Bears football. Andrew Joyce, I'm joined by the coach once again. Coach, another great representation of the players. Jade Haddock, John Brown, and the coaching staff with Jimmy Brookins. Quality people.
Yeah, Andrew, again, I enjoyed listening to it as much as you interviewed him. And just going with Coach Brookins, he's been very easy to work with. I feel like I can step on his foot and he'll keep, he keeps walking. He don't dig a hole but he keeps wanting to learn. You can tell by he's energetic, and he's just a very positive person. When you work with people like that, you don't mind to try to help them be a better coach. And what can you say about John Brown? Just a super young man,
Yes.
Just handled himself well up here. And then Jay Haddock, I've known Jay ever since he's in his diapers. So I watched that young man grow, and just very mature and very handles himself well. So we had another three great guys on the show
Indeed.
tonight, Andrew.
Indeed. Dudley Hilton, Bethel this Saturday on the road, one of the longest road trips of the season for the Bears. Let's talk about the travel plans.
Well, I've never been there before, but we're leaving Friday morning, and we're going down to Kentucky Lake and stay at the state park and just try to take kids on a good, a little like a field trip thing.
Sure.
Make sure we stop somewhere in Kentucky, and that's where we're going to stay all night at the state park down there, and have a pregame practice down there and a meal Friday night, and getting up Saturday morning. Got about an hour to go to Bethel and go down there, and hopefully we can come back with a big win. They're a very good football team. They've won 3 in a row now, and they lost the first game of the season to Wise, so we know what we did to Wise. So there's another game that we've got an opportunity to win, and we're as good as they are if we're not the best team on the field. But hopefully, going away from home, sometimes we play better away from home.
Sure.
So I hope the trip where we all got them together Friday night and got a good trip planned out for them. I hope it all works out for us. I just hope we go play, and I know we'll go play. I just hope we can cut down some of these mental mistakes we're making.
What kind of styles Bethel play? Run game, pass game, pretty balanced?
Yeah, pretty balanced. They'll get on each center and run the ball, and they get back in the shotgun and pass it. And they're just a good, solid football team, defensively and offensively, special teams, and another great NIA Mid-South Conference football team. But they'll spread us, and they'll get us in several different formations, and you know, we got to just this time of year you got to be prepared for everything, and but they are a very good football team.
Let's bounce back and get a win Saturday.
Thank you, Andrew. We sure hope so.
Dudley Hilton, we talk University of Pikeville Bears football. The Bears on the road Saturday at Bethel. It's a 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff on the air at 2:10 on Z-Rock 107.5 and PikeTV.com. You'll be able to catch the Bears all season long. You've heard from Dudley Hilton tonight. Also on behalf of Jimmy Brookins, linebackers coach and director of player development, offensive lineman John Brown, and, of course, from the secondary, Jade Haddix out of Breathitt County, our guest tonight on the Dudley Hilton Show. I'm Andrew Joyce. Let's go Bears. It's been presented by Appalachian Wireless.